Well, this is my ship. I think that's finally sinking in. I am in command of the Normandy. What is my first order of business? Ice cream day for everyone? Unlimited coffee? Nah, I save those for a special occasion. But first, I should probably go around, say hi to everybody, make sure the crew is settling in all right, and then time to go find, what was it, Liara, I think it was? Hey Presley, how's the ulcer going?
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
Presley, we've talked about this. You don't necessarily have to like the other species, but they are here on my request, so please treat them with the respect that they are due.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, ma'am, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Presley, Nihilus was murdered by another Spectre, so you can't really equate one to the other, and that's a huge leap of just thinking there. So I'm gonna back away. Remember to watch out for the ulcer and drink plenty of water and maybe get a nap.
Carry on, Presley.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Hey, Caden, you doing all right?
Anything you need, Commander?
Nope, just wanted to make sure you're doing all right. Everything good?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
Okay.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
Thanks for the time, Caden. I appreciate it. And I think Chakwas is in there getting ready for takeoff. And then, is everybody else downstairs? Has to be. Yep, I got 3 crew members there, and then I think Tally is in the other end of the ship. Hey Rex, you settling into my ship all right?
Nice ship you've got, Shepard.
Thank you.
What can I do for you?
Just wanted to say hi, make sure that you were settling in all right. Anything you wanted to talk about?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Really? I'm trying to get to know you. I'm trying to be friends, Rex. I really am, because I can't lie. Making friends with people doesn't come naturally to me either. Don't be an ass.
You Krogans live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
It sounds like it was a blast. So happy, Rex, that you are full of nothing but really good, interesting stories from you personally.
Yeah, they tried the same with us, but we fought them off.
It's not the same.
It isn't? Then explain it to me.
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation?
No.
An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I mean, you bring up some excellent points there. I consider my opinion changed on the situation. See, and if we didn't have this discussion, Rex, then I might not know this from your perspective. See, this is called growth and learning, and we should chat more so then that way we can have more of it and become best friends.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Touchy subject.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard.
Then what does?
As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
So what is killing you then?
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Is it because it's easier than staying at home and watching it all happen? Is that what it is? Is that why there are so many Krogan mercenaries?
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the genophage? I've only heard just kind of what I learned way back when, but I haven't really gotten a first-hand account of everything.
What can you tell me about the Genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one, and no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why not? Are you afraid of the retaliation? You can't be. You're a warrior-based race, right? You wouldn't be necessarily afraid of the retaliation. So why not find a cure?
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist?
Good point.
You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the Genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
Fair. Thank you for talking to me, Rex. I appreciate it.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Hey, Ashley. What's up?
Commander?
Did you want to talk? How we doing?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
That we'd saved your unit. I know. And when I say I know how that feels, Ashley, I mean I know how that feels.
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
No, don't blame yourself. Don't start spiraling down that road, because once you go down that road, it's almost impossible to come back. You just keep your head in the facts. Know that there was nothing that you could have done to change what had happened. Don't blame yourself. Just know you did the best that you could given the situation that you were in.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away.
No, fair
I
enough.
wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Perfect. We will have fun doing whatever it is you were up to.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am?
Hey, Garrus. Is this what I think it is? Oh man, I can't wait to drive this. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Are you so excited, Garrus?
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I
Anytime.
knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
You knew? How did you know?
Have you worked with the Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Oh man, isn't that the truth though?
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
Was that the only reason you left, or were there other reasons?
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I know. I understand completely. It's a tough decision, but you've got to do what's right for you, or else you're gonna lose yourself in the process.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Well, I am looking forward to working with you, Garrus. I think we will have one very, very interesting time together.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
Anytime, Garrus, anytime. And it looks like we have a requisitions officer. I'll talk to him later, which is good to know that we have one. And then... Oh, hey, Adams, I haven't chatted with you yet.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tally?
I do.
She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
Is that all right? Is she bothering you? I mean, the Tally that I know wouldn't bother and or hurt a fly unless you came at her with a gun or something like that, so I hope everything's all right.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is.
Excellent.
Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
She is a very, very interesting individual, and I hope you guys are going to have a good working relationship.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander. But I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
No, I just wanted to check in, see how the Normandy's doing.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
Will you tell me a little bit more about the drive core?
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, but we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Nice, nice. And then what about the stealth systems? I have heard about it, but I haven't been given a full rundown of it.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation, too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
But we're invisible for the most part.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why does FTL give us away?
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
That will come in very handy when dealing with Saren. Thank you for your time, Adams. I appreciate it.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Hey, Tally, are you having fun?
Your ship's amazing, Shepard.
I know.
I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
This ship is, she's very special.
The Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I'm really happy that we were able to do that for you, Tally. I assume that you were into ships and everything that makes them, right?
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
Oh my goodness, that was what, 300-ish years ago?
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work, mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Because you're able to bring stuff back that'll do... That's so interesting. Will you tell me a little bit more about the pilgrimage?
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet.
That makes sense.
But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Now, are the gifts always accepted or can they be rejected?
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Oh, interesting. It sounds dangerous, but it also sounds very exciting and like one of the most interesting ways to kind of go from, one part of your life into another.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Could you tell me a little bit more about the Quarian? I know some, but not a lot.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
Like what?
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
The Conclave, is that kind of like your council or something like that? Your government?
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So it's democratic?
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts.
Oh, wow.
It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Interesting. Tally, thank you so much for the information. I'm sure I'll be back down at some point soon to pick your brain, but I've got to get the ship moving to where we need to go next. Thank you.
I should go.
See you later.
See you. I can't lie, I am very much looking forward to working with everybody. It seems like I've got one very interesting crew, and given the interesting times we have ahead, that should make things even better. Alright, time to go find Liara, and maybe do a few things along the way. Looks like I found some kind of research base. I know we were out here just exploring a little bit just to make sure I had the Mako controls down and stuff like that before we went to some of the other clusters in Hades Gamma, but, you know, let's see what we find at this research base. Maybe we can say hello. Maybe somebody has a snack. I am starting to get peckish.
Nobody's been here for a while.
Weird, right? Very, very weird. Can we go into any of these buildings, you think? Hello? Anybody home? Anybody here? Hello? Can the console tell us anything?
According to these data logs, the survey team unearthed some kind of alien technology.
Huh.
Could be answers at the excavation site.
Well, then I guess that's where we're headed next, huh? Imagine working all the way out on a planet like this. It's so quiet and desolate. Ugh, gives me a bit of the creeps. All right, I assume that this is the excavation site. Let's go in and see what we can find. hopefully someone, or at least some kind of interesting information. I'd hate to bring somebody back with bad news that didn't know I was about to bring them back bad news. I'd like to say hello, is anybody home, but I don't necessarily want to announce us. Okay. Nobody's here so far, just a creepy little cavern. Open up that door. Nothing down here. What about this way? Why are we... Oh no, husks? What are husks doing here? I thought we let those back on Eden Prime. Alright, take them down as quickly and quietly as... Well, not quietly, but as quickly as possible, huh? Well, that was definitely fun. Let's not do that again. What were husks doing here? What is this? Have you guys seen tech like this before? You know what it kind of reminds me of in appearance? That, ship that Saren was on, huh?
Just lead the way.
Will do. Does it remind it? Oh, well, Rex and... Oh, you two both weren't there. Okay. Well, on Eden Prime, right, when I was there was like this huge ship that just like jettisoned off into space. Somebody there called it a mothership, and I don't know if you guys get the old Earth vid reference, but that's kind of what it reminded me of, and that looks like it's technology. I guess we'll keep going this way and hope we find some researchers. I hope it wasn't the research. Oh no! Guys! They're back! That accounts for all of the ExoGeni survey team. They were converted to cybernetic husks by devices similar to those used by the Geth on Eden Prime. How they came to be buried on a frontier world so far from Geth territory is a mystery. I guess the bigger question is, how did all the materials to turn the team into husks make it here? Was it excavated and just a coincidence, or... No, it can't be. Were they lured here? You don't think that there was somebody that lured them here with a scientific discovery, do you? And this is... Oh man, these are it. These are very similar to what we saw on Eden Prime. Not quite. I mean, the ones on Eden Prime were almost a little bit more elaborate. Maybe the ones on Eden Prime were meant to expedite the process? I guess that is the question, though. Was this an accident? Or was somebody testing on how to make husks all the way out here before the Eden Prime attack? Both are disturbing. The second one, though, much, much, much more disturbing than anything else, huh?